Hey Rodney, sorry to message you while you're at work. I try to avoid it when I can. Is now a good time? You got a minute?
It's all good. I was actually just waiting for you to message me. How's your dad doing? Did he come around yet?
No, it's not good, Rodney. He just passed away.
I see. Wow, this has all been so sudden.
To think he was only carried off in an ambulance this morning. I knew he wasn't doing great, but I had no idea he'd be gone by the afternoon. He was so lively and in such good spirits when I met up with him this time last week.
No kidding. I didn't see this coming. Wow, I just can't believe it. Amelia, are you okay? How are you holding up?
I'm okay. I can't say the same for my mom, though. She's in a state of shock.
Your mom and dad were always getting along so well. I guess she just lost her soulmate. She's bound to be in a bad way right now.
She's barely spoken a word since we got the news. I think she's in a lot of pain. I can't bear to see her like this.
You must be really worried about her.
I am. I don't think she's gonna be herself for a while. All I can do is keep an eye on her and make sure she's eating and drinking properly.
Right. Can't expect her to be herself after what happened. This is gonna take time.
With Mom like this, it looks like I'm the only one in any state to make arrangements for the funeral. I've never done anything like this before, and honestly, I don't really know what I'm doing. Things might get a little crazy for us over the next few weeks, Rodney. I'm probably not going to have as much time as usual to keep on top of things at home either. So I'm sorry if things get a bit chaotic for you.
Don't be silly, babe. You don't have to worry about that. I've got it covered. How's the schedule for the funeral looking? Do you have any dates in mind yet?
Well, firstly, I'm thinking about holding the wake tomorrow evening at 5 p.m. Then the funeral itself at 11 a.m. the day after.
Got it. I'll book the day after tomorrow off work pronto.
Okay, sweetie. Thanks.
As for tomorrow, though, I'm supposed to be entertaining a major client of ours, and it's not the kind of thing I can pull out of short notice. No one else is available to take over for me either. I'm sorry, babe, but there's a chance I'm not going to be able to make it to the wake tomorrow. I'll do my best to get away early if I can, but I can't promise anything.
Oh, now that you mention it, you did say you'd be back late tomorrow evening, didn't you? Got it. It's okay, don't worry about it, honey. As long as you can make it to the funeral itself, I don't mind. I wouldn't want to go causing you any problems at work. If it's looking like it's gonna be too late, you don't have to worry about coming to the wake. I totally understand.
Sorry, babe. I really wish I could be there. They're our biggest client.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. This has all happened so suddenly. It's not the kind of thing you can make plans for. As long as you make it to the funeral first thing the next morning, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna head home and get some things together before heading out to my mom's place now. I think it's best I stay with her for a little while to make sure she's okay. I'll be staying over there from tonight onward for the foreseeable future.
All right. You don't have to worry about me. I'll be fine looking after myself for a while. You just focus on making sure your mom's okay. I know all this must be so difficult for you, babe. I'm here if you need anything. Oh yeah, what about May? I take it I'll be looking after her this evening?
Don't be silly. You have work tomorrow. I'm gonna go pick her up from the nursery soon. Then I'll be taking her to my mom's with me. I think having May around could be just what she needs right now. Actually, she's going to be staying at my mom's with me.
Oh, my bad. I see.
All I ask is that you look after the cats. You know, keep them fed and clean their litter trays out.
Alright, leave it with me.
Thanks, honey. Alright, well, I have some stuff to take care of now. I'll message you later on.
Got it. You've gone through a lot, babe. I want you to know I'm here for you.
Good morning, Rodney. Are you awake already?
I just woke up. I'm getting ready to make my way there as we speak. I just have to go straight to the church, is that right? I haven't been there before, so I'm gonna let my sat-nav take me to the address you gave me.
Right. We've all been here waiting for a while, so just look out for the crowd. My aunts and uncles are all here, so we should be pretty easy to spot. If you make your way straight here, you won't be able to miss us.
Alright.
Come as quickly as you can, okay? May's been bored for a while now. She keeps complaining and she's super restless. I have so much to do. I don't have time to keep her entertained. I want to play with her, but it's out of my hands.
Kids can be a pain at times like this, huh? Okay, I'll be there as fast as I can. I'm rushing to get my things together right now. I won't be long.
I'm counting on you, Rodney. Please hurry. I hung your suit up by the bedroom closet, and your shoes should be by the front door. Oh yeah, if you can, would you mind bringing a few of May's picture books? I could really do with something to keep her occupied before she gets so bored I lose control of her.
Got it, picture books. I'll get a bunch of them together now. Let me know if you need anything else before I leave. I think I should be there within 30 minutes or so. See you soon, babe.
Rodney, where the hell did you go? The funeral service just ended. We're all on our way to the crematorium now, but you're nowhere to be seen? What's going on?
Sorry! Holy Jesus balls, is it that time already? I'm coming back now. I'll be there immediately. Don't worry, babe, I won't be long.
You just disappeared from the church all of a sudden in the middle of the funeral. What are you playing at?
Sorry, babe, I fell asleep at the house. I was in such a rush this morning that I forgot to feed the cats and clean their litter trays. You should have seen the look Mr. Wiggleton gave me when I walked through the front door. I rushed back to feed them as soon as I realized. I lay down for a sec on the sofa to rest my eyes. I only meant to stop for a minute, but I must have fallen asleep.
Interesting. So tell me, is this an excuse you just came up with? Or did you have it ready from the beginning?
No, it's not like that. It's not an excuse, it's the truth. I'm not proud of it. I really did go back home to feed the cats and fell asleep. Damn it, I'm such an idiot.
Oh, you did go home. I know that part is true. But surely you must mean something else when you say you fell asleep.
Huh? Why would I mean something else? What are you talking about?
We all saw you on the sofa with my sister on the pet camera. No one had any idea where you disappeared to, and to our surprise, there you both were.
Wait, you saw us? What the hell?
Yes, and I'm still watching you as we speak.
Gah! Who would do such a thing? You're joking, right? Please tell me you're making this up.
I'm not making anything up, and I'm not joking. I'm watching you right now, and I can see you curled up with my sister on the sofa, plain as day. Don't you think it's about time you two put some clothes on? How long do you plan on lazing around on the sofa half naked in the middle of the day? You're gonna get our house dirty.
Are you seriously watching us? But how? How is that possible?
Like I already told you, the pet camera app. I saw what was so important you had to ditch me halfway through my dad's funeral. I saw all of it. You two looked like you were having the time of your lives. It's no wonder you got tired and fell asleep after all that steamy action.
The pet camera? What even is that? Since when do we have one of those? Is it new?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, it is. We were gonna be away from the house a few days, so I thought it best to set up one so I could watch the cats. I'm normally home, so they're not used to being on their own, and you know what little trouble causers they can turn into when they feel stressed out. I was worried, so I asked my mom if she had any ideas, and luckily she had a spare camera that Dad had bought to watch the dogs when the two of them went on holiday together.
I never knew about any of this.
Sorry, I forgot to tell you because I've been so busy lately. I'm glad I didn't, though.
You have got to be kidding me.
Do you have any idea how much trouble you caused us at the funeral? You were supposed to be watching May when you disappeared. She had no idea where you'd gone, and she was panicking because I told her not to leave your side. I showed her the camera app out of desperation. I thought maybe watching the cats would keep her entertained for long enough to get us through the funeral. And when I did, she said you were on there.
Oh my god, are you serious? You're saying May saw me too?
Luckily, I realized what was going on in time to take the phone off of her before the main event started. To think, I caught my husband cheating on me with my sister on the pet camera. There's no way I was ever gonna show that to a kid.
I see. Oh, I'm really pleased to hear that.
All of the adults at the funeral saw you though. My entire family. Just what the hell were you and my sister thinking?
I'm so sorry.
I can't believe you ditched me at my dad's funeral to do that. This isn't the kind of thing that goes away with an apology.
But I really am sorry. I'm gonna make my way to you guys now.
Don't bother. I can't believe you'd even suggest it in the first place. What did you plan on saying to my relatives after they'd all seen you romping with my sister on the sofa? Have you lost your mind? You can tell my sister she's not welcome here either.
No, we're gonna come. Your dad meant a lot to me. He was always so kind and helpful.
You can come if you like, but you won't be getting into the crematorium or having any part in anything. To think you'd miss my dad's funeral to have your sordid little tryst and then just expect to turn up afterwards as if everything was fine and dandy. How dare you!
We didn't mean to miss anything. We just fell asleep. The plan was to make it back in time for the ceremony before things started.
I can't believe you're cheating on me, Rodney. This doesn't even feel like real life right now. I'm fully expecting to wake up at any moment and realize it's all been a big nightmare. And not only that, but with my own sister? I can't be held responsible for my actions if I see your faces. Consider this your last and only warning. Leave me to say goodbye to my dad in peace. You were absolutely not to come here. And that goes for the both of you.
Fine. Okay, I'll wait for you at home.
What are you talking about? You really have lost your mind, haven't you? I'm never going back there. Me and May will be living with my mom at her house from now on.
Please, just wait. I know emotions are running high right now. Let's not do anything drastic. This isn't the time to make big decisions, babe. Your head isn't in the right place. You shouldn't even joke about things like that. Let's just talk this through like adults. I'm sure we can reach some kind of understanding if we just try.
I have nothing to say to you. You and my sister are both dead to me now. Oh yeah, and you better prepare yourselves for what's coming. Pass the message on to my sister. Now if you'll excuse me, we're busy and we have lots to do. So if you don't mind never contacting me again, that would be great.
Hey, Amelia, you there? The cats are gone! What happened? Could they have run away?
I took them to my mom's place while you were at work. I didn't want them staying there with you.
You seriously don't plan on coming back here, do you?
That's right, I seriously don't. Me, May, Mr. Wiggleton, and Mr. Bigglesworth will all be living with my mom from now on. My mom's super lonely without my dad, so I think this could actually be just what she needs. She seems a little bit more like her old self now. I think things are just perfect this way.
Perfect? This is about as far from perfect as things could possibly be. You don't really mean that, do you? What about us? What about what we had? I'm begging you, baby. Please come back. Let's mend these wounds.
Not happening. I have no interest in ever seeing a low-life, two-timing scumbag like you again for as long as I live.
This isn't fair. What about me? I'll never get to see you or May again at this rate. The thought of it alone breaks me up inside. The cats, too. The house is so quiet without you guys, it's plain creepy. Being here all on my own isn't good for my mental health. I feel like I'm being crushed by the loneliness of it all.
Cool. The thing is, Rodney, if I was that important to you, you would have never cheated on me in the first place, would you? You're just sad you got caught, that's all.
No, it's not just that I got caught. I'm genuinely sorry I did it. I swear. But that's the only time we ever did it. It was a one-off, and it'll never happen again. That's why I'm begging you, baby. Please, please, please forgive me. I can change. I can be the man you need, the man you deserve. I'll never do anything like this again for as long as I live. I'll do anything you say. I'll help more around the house. I'll be the model husband, I promise. Believe in me, baby, I can do this.
A one-off, you say?
That's right, a one-off. That was the first and the last time. Your sister kept inviting me to slip out of the funeral together. She was so persistent, she wouldn't take no for an answer. I don't want to badmouth her because she's your family, but to tell you the truth, I felt like she was forcing me, and I didn't know how to refuse her.
Interesting. Is that so?
That's right, babe. That's exactly how it was. I wish I just said no. All this could have been avoided if I had just acted like a man and said no, but I didn't. I couldn't. I failed you, baby. You deserve better. Please, just give me one more chance. I'm begging you!
Your excuse-making ability really is quite impressive. You'd make a fantastic con man.
Oh my god, baby. It's not an excuse! What do I have to do to make you believe me? It's the truth! From the heart, I swear! I know I've been stupid. I've been a fool. I'll happily admit it. I'm the world's biggest moron. But I'm not lying.
The problem is, it wasn't just a one-off, was it? My sister told me you've been doing this for over a year now.
Huh? You spoke to your sister? I thought she ran off somewhere. She said she was ignoring you.
On the day of the funeral? It's true that she seemed to be trying to escape somewhere after she left our house. And as you say, she wasn't replying to my messages. Thankfully, my uncle caught sight of her with a load of suitcases on her way to the airport and bundled her into his car before she could get away. He made her confess to everything.
Everything?
Everything about your relationship. You've been seeing each other for over a year, haven't you? She told me all about how you'd meet up in secret every time we held a family get-together at my mom's house. Not only that, but you regularly met up on your own time, too. I guess that explains why you kept coming back from work later than usual.
No, it's not what it looks like, babe. I just didn't know how to refuse her invites. She seriously wouldn't take no for an answer. She was like a woman possessed. I went the first time because I thought she might back off after that. But if anything, it just got worse. She threatened to tell you if I didn't keep seeing her. She made me into her hostage. I had no choice but to continue the relationship. You have no idea how trapped, how powerless she made me feel.
I do wish you'd stop lying already, Rodney. Can't you see it's over? The cat's out of the bag. Accept it. I saw your entire message history. It's pretty obvious you were a willing partner in this whole affair. My precious honey bunny, my beloved sugar dumpling, my delightful sweetie pie. I could go on, but I'd probably throw up. Not only that, but you invited her out just as much.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, babe.
You're a pathetic liar, Rodney. Even despite the fact I clearly know everything, you still persist in trying to keep up the facade. I'll never be able to trust another word you say, which is why there's only one thing for it. I want a divorce.
Please, no! Anything but divorce!
It didn't have to be this way, but you chose my sister over me. I saw what you said about me in the messages. If anything, shouldn't you be celebrating? You two finally get to be together out in the open now.
The messages? Ignore that, babe. I just got carried away. I didn't mean any of it, I swear. Your sister was nothing more than a fling. A cheap thrill. I don't have feelings for her, I promise. I only have eyes for you, Amelia. You're the one I love, no one else. Please, rethink the divorce.
Wow, really? You love me? Is that a lie too?
No! They're the truest words I've ever spoken. I love you more than anyone or anything. You're the most important person in the world to me.
You ditched me and our daughter at my own dad's funeral to have a seedy little romp with my sister on our sofa while I mourn.
completely broken and drenched in tears. Tell me how I'm supposed to believe a word you say. Is this how you treat the person you love most in the world? Or rather, is it how you treat someone you couldn't care less about? Because the answer seems obvious to me. Anyway, we're divorcing no matter what you say, or how much you beg and plead. And that's final, so you're better off just accepting it. I got ample proof of the affair from my sister, and I'm willing to present it in court if you force my hand. I'll be leaving the rest to my lawyer from here.
Oh my god. Are you saying me and you can't talk this through like adults? We have to go through lawyers now? Is that where we're at?
Yes, that's where we're at. If you have anything further to say, contact my lawyer. I have nothing more to say to you.
Why not? How could you end our marriage over text message? Is this all we are to you? How could you leave something this important to a lawyer? Aren't we capable of sorting through our own problems?
You can play dumb all you like. But I know you understand why I'm doing this deep down, Rodney. You know you're a liar. I could never believe another word that came out of your mouth. So even if we did speak face to face, it would be meaningless.
How can you say that so easily? We're family. You know this means depriving May of her father, don't you? Are you prepared to go through with that? You need to calm down and think this through logically, Amelia.
Oh, believe me, this wasn't an easy decision to make. The thought of separating May from her father breaks me up, too.
Right? In that case, let's talk this through in person. Let's not end things like this. I'll apologize until you're satisfied. Please, just give us one more chance.
I've been betrayed by my husband and sister. Do you have any idea how it feels to be treated like this by your family? By the people you should be able to trust and rely on more than anyone else? At my dad's funeral, no less. He'd be turning in his grave.
I'm prepared to spend the rest of my life making up for this, Amelia. I promise I'll do anything to prove how much you mean to me.
It wasn't just me you betrayed. You betrayed my mom, my dad, May, everyone. You could apologize 1,000,000,000 times and I still couldn't forgive you. I could live 100 lifetimes and I still wouldn't have any interest in giving us another shot. I can't trust a single word that comes out of your mouth. The discussion continued through our lawyers after that. Rodney was adamant he didn't want to divorce me, but ultimately, after much resistance, gave up and signed the papers. He was ordered by a judge to pay a hefty sum in compensation, as well as regular child support payments until May turns 18. With that, the divorce was finalized, and I was officially single again. I also charged my sister for compensation for her part in the affair, which she paid immediately. It doesn't make up for what they did to me, but it's at least nice to not have to worry about money. My sister was also married, and she had no way of hiding her actions from her husband, who saw the camera footage along with everyone else at the funeral. Naturally, he was livid, and he also filed for a divorce and demanded compensation. She was able to cover my share just fine, but had to go into debt to pay off her husband. Oh well, serves her right. My mom disowned her, and after all our relatives saw what she was up to at the funeral, she was essentially kicked out of the family. Rodney was ordered to pay my sister's ex-husband compensation too, which he agreed to through gritted teeth. Needless to say, neither of them are going to be able to afford a holiday anytime soon. Between that and the compensation and child support he owed me, his savings just didn't cut it. He too had no choice but to go into debt. As if that wasn't bad enough, he still owes repayments on the big house he bought for me, him, May, and the cats to live together. I can't imagine how lonely his life is gonna be from here on out. Beyond working and paying off debts, he has nothing and no one. Me and May left the house a long time ago, so we'll never see him again now. Good riddance. He broke down in tears and begged us not to leave, but no matter how sorry he is, no matter how much he thinks about what he's done, some things are simply unforgivable. I hope he suffers the unbearable soul-crushing pain of regret for the rest of his life.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.
Peep texts!
Miles,
Where did you go? I heard you disappeared halfway through while the doctor was explaining the symptoms of our son's illness to you. I'm not back at 100% myself yet, so I really need to know what's going on. Miles? What happened? Where are you?
Not what happened. Come on, Jade. I just found out my son has an incurable illness. Anyone would feel shaken about to hearing a bomb like that dropped on them.
Maybe so. But he's still your son, you know. Surely we have a duty as his parents to understand the disease and the treatment he'll have to go through? I understand exactly how you feel. Believe me, I do. But even though he was born with this illness that he may never recover from, he's still doing his best to survive. He's still fighting. We have to fight too, Miles. We have to do it for him.
This is your fault.
What?
It's got nothing to do with me. You're the one who gave birth to a sickly kid, which means he's your responsibility.
Hold on a minute. What the hell? If you're being serious, what a horrible thing to say. Don't you think I was surprised myself when I found out he had a potentially incurable illness when he was born? That doesn't change the fact he's our son. I struggled and I suffered and I did my best to bring him into this world. Why would you say something like that?
You're the one who gave birth to a sickly kid. You and no one else. What do you expect me to say? He's got nothing to do with me, and he ain't my problem. I intend to go about my life as usual.
Miles, hold on. What the hell are you saying? Please, can we speak in person? We can't discuss something this important over message. It's so impersonal. You haven't been to see me at the hospital even once.
Do you have any idea how long it takes me to drive to the hospital? 30 minutes! Sheesh. Would you just put a lid on it already, woman? You're real annoying. Surely you can figure out how to get by on your own somehow. You're a mom now. Can't rely on me for everything all the time. What does your signature look like? Can you send me a picture?
What? Why? Oh, right. Do you want it for the birth certificate?
Like hell I do. We're getting a divorce. I'll just forge it if you don't tell me.
Oh my god! I'm in a hospital bed after finding out our newborn son has an incurable illness and you're divorcing me? Where the hell did this Miles come from? I barely recognize you anymore. You changed yesterday as soon as you found out about our son's illness. This sickly kid. I'm divorcing you. Seriously? What has gotten into you?
I already told you. I don't want anything to do with that sickly brat.
Wow. Just wow, Miles. Are you serious? Tell me you're not, please.
You think I joke about something like this? I want the perfect family. A beautiful wife who always gets the housework done on time. A healthy child. The kid you just gave birth to doesn't even come close to my ideal vision. He's subpar and defective at best, which is 100% your responsibility.
Wait, what? Are you saying you married me because I'm good at housework?
Bingo! You enjoy housework. You enjoy cooking. And to top it off, you're not bad looking either. What's more, you're completely subservient to me. I really like all that stuff about you, babe. I also like the fact you're timid and have low self-esteem. The fact you struggle to assert yourself means you're really easy to deal with.
I see. So you've never loved me.
Loved you? I never knew you were such a romantic, babe. What is this, a chick flick? What does that matter anyway? I always fulfilled my duties as a husband, didn't I? Have you ever struggled for money? Even once? Has there ever not been food on the table? Huh? I'm an elite husband of the kind most women would kill for. Not just that, but my mom and dad are stinking rich. I'm one of life's winners, the chosen few, the cream of the crop. I think you get it. Anyway, If anything, you should be grateful you got to marry me, even if only temporarily. Aren't you happy you got to find out what it was like to live with such a fine specimen of a man? Don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happens, sweet cheeks.
I thought you loved me this whole time. I really did. But now I understand. You're despicable, and I have nothing else to say to you.
Why would you believe something like that? You're so presumptuous, babe. Despicable? Roar, get him, tiger. But hey, on the bright side, if I'm that despicable, you'll be eager to get this divorce over with as quickly as possible, right? I'm pleased we see eye to eye on this. Good girl. And don't worry, babe. I accept I'm the one who initiated the divorce, so I don't mind if I have to pay compensation. Child support is basically a foregone conclusion for dads in this day and age. The system is rigged against us men, so naturally you'll be getting that too. That just about covers everything. We're done here.
Miles, where are you right now?
What do you want, Mom? I'm hella busy right now.
Sorry to disturb you, but there's something I need to ask you about your divorce with Jade.
Oh, it's about the divorce? Isn't she just the worst? I mean, seriously, the nerve. Can you believe she had the chutzpah to give birth to such a sickly kid and then expect me to have anything to do with it?
Yes, the worst. Truly, the most disgraceful thing I've ever seen in all my years on this earth. You, that is.
Huh? Me?
Are you a moron as well as a scumbag? Obviously, I mean you. Who else could be described in such terms in this situation? You run away from the hospital with your tail between your legs the moment you find out your newborn son has an incurable disease. Who other than you could be the scumbag here?
Quit messing around, Mom. That stings, even for a joke. You seriously expect me to raise a kid like that?
He's your son, so obviously I do. Although looking at your behavior, maybe it's for the best he grows up not knowing you exist. Because we sure as hell don't need two wastes of space like you on this planet. I feel so awful for Jade. She's a lovely girl who deserves so much better than this.
Don't give her your sympathy, Mom. What the hell? How am I the bad guy here? What need would I have for a sickly kid like that? He'd be nothing but a burden. Not just sickly, but incurably sickly. That means his whole life. Anyone would hesitate to put their time and money into raising such a defective excuse for a human.
In that case, maybe I should toss you in the trash where you belong then. You suffered from the same disease as little Billy when you were a baby after all. Did you know that? Oh yeah, Billy is your son's name.
Huh?
Isn't it lovely? Me and Jade decided on it.
No, not that. What do you mean I had the same disease?
That's right. The doctor told me there was a chance you might never recover. In spite of that, I still raised you. Then when you were 4 months old, it disappeared on its own and you made a full recovery. You have no idea how glad I was.
What the? So it's not an incurable disease after all. You should really go and tell Jade and the doctor. I don't think they got the memo.
I know you're a complete moron, but are you short of seeing too? How many times do I have to tell you the doctors don't know whether it'll get better? In some cases it does, in some it doesn't.
You've put me in a real difficult spot here, Mom. How can I make an informed decision on the divorce without having access to all the information? You should have told me this way before now.
Excuse me? It seems to me like you've already made your mind up on the divorce.
Nah, I'm flexible on this. If he recovers from his illness, then I won't divorce her. In that case, she could still make the grade and still gets to be my wife.
Even if you want to stay with her, she's done with you now after how you've acted. Surely you realize that.
I told you! I only acted like that because I thought the brat was gonna be sickly and infirm forever. If that's not the case, I'm happy to apologize.
That won't be necessary.
It won't?
Oh yeah, That reminds me. It's about the compensation. It turns out the amount you'll be paying is actually higher than we initially expected. I take it you understand why.
Huh? How can I understand if you don't tell me? Stop messing me around, Mom!
That's right. When you made your escape from the hospital, you went straight to your lover's house to live with her, didn't you? I'm sat enjoying a coffee at her house right now. So make sure you hurry and come see me soon. I'll say that one more time. Get your backside over here right now.
Mom?
Oh yeah, and make sure you grab the divorce papers while you're at it. Pronto!
Mom, please, just wait a sec. I need to confirm something real quick here. You're on my side here, aren't you?
Cut the crap, Miles. I'm sick of your attitude. I'm in the apartment block run by Peeps Properties on 7th Avenue, room 201. That's where you've been living since making your cowardly escape, isn't it? I couldn't find you at the old house, so I figured this was the only place you could be. You can't keep running, Miles. Oh, and by the way, I explained everything to your lover. Turns out she didn't have a clue you were married with a child on the way. It looks like you've gotten yourself into quite the mess, huh? Anyway, chop chop, son. You better not keep me waiting.
You've been tracking me down? Mom, look, I'm sorry, okay? I'll apologize. I'll pay compensation. I'll do anything. Just don't tell Jade or Dad about this, please?
That ship has already sailed. Jade's known about what you've been doing behind her back for ages now.
She knew? Like hell she did! How? Look, I'm only telling you this because you're my mom. But I went to every length to ensure my secret never got out. I moved with double agent level stealth. My cover was flawless.
Jade loved you from the bottom of your heart. When you love someone that much, you notice even the tiniest change in their behavior. When she announced that she was pregnant, she said you seemed a lot less pleased than she expected you to be. Disappointed, even. Obviously, she couldn't go confronting you based on that alone. But she said that after the announcement, you became more and more distant by the day, eventually getting so bad you barely ever communicated. On top of that, she said you were acting all kinds of strange. I don't think I need to say anything else. I know you know what I mean. She broke down in tears and told me everything when she couldn't take keeping it all bottled up any longer. After that, I decided to hire a private investigator.
So you did hire a private investigator, huh? I had my suspicions. I hate backstabbing women like you who sneak around in the shadows like cowardly rats. Have you thought about my feelings even once?
Sneaking around like cowardly rats? You've got some nerve. Who's the one who's been sneaking around his wife's back having an affair? Do you have any idea what you've done to that poor girl? You were having an affair. Not only that, but you abandon your kid the moment you realize he's ill? You are not fit to be a parent. You couldn't atone for what you've done even if you had 10 lifetimes. Do you have any idea how much pain and suffering you've caused your wife? How fragile her mental state is now because of you? And yet, here you are acting like you've done nothing wrong, like butter wouldn't melt, accusing us of being at fault.
Come on, Mom, I get it! I'll apologize for the affair. Can we just put this to bed already? Can you please tell Jade to hold off on the divorce for the time being?
What? You expect her to hold off on the divorce? You cannot be serious. My head hurts.
The kid's gonna get better, right? You said it yourself. If he doesn't get better, we go through with the divorce. If he does get better, we don't. It's pretty simple. How does that sound? Let's face it, she's gonna be over the moon when she hears she's still in with a chance with me.
Wow, you are just... What do I even say to this level of... I just can't. Your divorce is already set in stone, and you're a delusional moron in genuine need of psychiatric help if you think otherwise. Me and Jade will be looking after little Billy from now on.
Wait, what? Why would you be involved?
To be more precise, me and your father. You are aware Jade isn't in contact with her family and doesn't know any of her relatives, aren't you? That's why me and your dad intend to be there to support her through thick and thin.
Just tell me one thing, Mom. Why are you so committed to having Jade's back? I'm your son, not her!
Well, there is the fact that I feel a degree of responsibility for my scumbag son betraying and abandoning her. But even regardless of that, I've always thought she's a wonderful person. Plus, and I never told you about this, but she's my cooking teacher.
Your cooking teacher?
I've been brushing up on my cooking skills for at least a few years now. You always made sure to tell me how awful my cooking was ever since you were a little boy. I wanted to get better for when I had grandkids to look after one day. Memories of you blurting out things like, "I ain't eating this crap, do better!" and throwing your plate against the wall or flushing the food I made you down the toilet stick out in my mind all too vividly. I can't tell you how much it always shocked me. Besides, you must at least know about Jade. She's been running a cooking class since before you were married. She's a certified teacher. I kept it a secret from everyone because I wanted you all to be surprised when you tasted the difference in my food. And Jade was kind enough to keep it on the down low. Back when you introduced me to her as your girlfriend, I was so pleased when I found out she loved to cook. I'd always imagined how amazing it would be if you had a wife who could cook. So yes, Jade is just fantastic. Unfortunately, you're a reprehensible dirtbag, which is why she has my full support over the divorce.
Whatever. That's enough. I'm done with this conversation. Plus, if you're gonna be supporting her, then she won't be needing compensation from me anymore, will she? I'm actually pleased.
That's completely unrelated. You'll be paying every penny of the compensation and child support you owe her. We'll lawyer up if you refuse. Oh yeah, one more thing. You probably think you're still getting inheritance from me and your dad, don't you? I hate to break this to you, my dear son, but every last penny of it, assets and all, are going into a fund for little Billy when he grows up.
What? Wait a second. No! Surely you can't do that. I'm your son. That means I have a legal right to my inheritance. Yeah, that's right. You can't do that. I will get what's mine.
Oh, yes, we can. There is such a process called disinheritance of an heir. If you don't know what that means, I suggest you look it up. What a shame. Your future's already been laid out for you. It's been that way ever since you made the decision to cheat on your wife.
Mom, please! I'm your son! We're family! Flesh and blood! How can you toss me by the wayside while being so blindly loyal to a stranger? Have you never loved me?
Of course I loved you. I've always loved you and done my best to provide for you no matter what. Even when you threw away your food in front of my eyes, even when you set fire to the scarf I knitted you, even when I caught you tipping other children upside down to steal their milk money, even when I caught you stealing money from my purse, I loved you because you were my son.
Mom, stop digging at the past! It's hardly fair to use ancient history against me like this. But you're right. It's just like you say. I'm your son!
Loved. Past tense. Even love has its limits, Miles. And mine and your father's love for you has well and truly been exhausted this time. We want nothing more to do with you.
Whoa, 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 slow down! Now you're really going too far. Wait!
I will not wait. Our minds are made up, and this is not negotiable. Really, you've got some gall to play the victim. Have you never loved me? Have you heard yourself? I saw all your chat history with Jade. What did you say to her when she asked you the very same question?
Oh man, I just can't catch a break today! Mom! Please forgive me! I'm gonna be there for my son! For little Barry, I swear!
His name is Billy. And no, you are most certainly not. Oh, and by the way, your father just arrived at your lover's house. We're both waiting for you. Now hurry the hell up.
What? Why is Dad there too? Wasn't he away on business?
He was, but now he's back. So let's all have a nice, pleasant chat together. To put it in a way you'll understand, it's time for me and your father to fulfill our final responsibilities to you by cutting our defective son out of our lives once and for all. It goes without saying that Miles didn't have the courage to show up at his lover's house where his mom and dad were waiting. Instead, once again running away with his tail between his legs, this time to his coworker's house, where he begged him to give him refuge. However, his coworker couldn't help but feel suspicious and was worried he might be getting wrapped up in some kind of trouble. When he pressed Miles for an explanation, he went to great lengths to rearrange the story in a way that was convenient for him, omitting anything that might show him in a negative light. But in spite of his best efforts, his coworker, who is known for being short-tempered, yelled, "Quit being such a pain in everyone's ass!" snatched his phone, and called Miles' dad. His dad drove down at once and dragged his son kicking and screaming out of his coworker's toilet, which he had attempted to lock himself inside. After that, Miles broke down in tears and begged my parents to convince me not to go through with the divorce, not to mention bombarding me with messages. Of course, I ignored him and continued with the proceedings. Thankfully, the divorce went through without a hitch, thanks to the help of my in-laws. They were super cooperative and kindly went to the trouble of finding a lawyer while I had my hands full with recovering in the hospital and the shock of finding out about my son's illness. It turned out I wasn't the only one Miles had been deceiving. He was forced to pay compensation not only to me, but also to his lover, who had no idea he was a married man. My son's illness was called congenital hyperinsulinism. Fortunately, it only ended up being temporary, and he made a full recovery after 3 weeks. Now we're living together at home, and he's full of energy and a joy to be around. Me and the in-laws are absolutely smitten with him, and they come over to see him every single day. I count my lucky stars that I was able to get his deadbeat dad out of our lives. What kind of monster could say they don't want anything to do with such a cute little boy? When I was at rock bottom after getting hit with the divorce, lost in a daze with no idea what to do, my stepmom hugged me tightly and said she loved me as if I was her own daughter. Miles could never understand just how reassuring it feels to hear such kind words in a time of need. That said, I don't intend on taking that kindness for granted. Which is why I plan on finding a job so I can bring in the money we need to raise Billy into a fine young man. I'm also praying he grows up to be thoughtful and kind. The last thing the world needs is another Miles.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel.